Well, not a video that I'm that happy to make, not a video that I'm that excited to make, but a video that I think will teach us all something that I've definitely learned, an experience that I have gone through, an experience that I can pass along to the people that watch my videos, and that is the Shopify trade, right? As you guys probably saw, the day after I made my Shopify video, Shopify dropped about 6%. I gave back $11,000 in profits. I end this trade up $1,500. Still a profitable trade, still a setup that I would take 10 out of 10 times, but the management of the trade, the second part of the trade, is what went wrong. The setup, fantastic. The entry, fantastic. The trade management, something that I could have worked on, not something I'm going to hide on this channel. I'm open, I'm transparent, an experience that I learned from, an experience that we can learn from together. So in today's video, I want to walk through what went wrong on my Shopify trade, giving back profits up $12,000, ending the trade up $1,500. It wasn't a good time. It wasn't a fun experience, but it's worth a video. And in today's video, I want to break it down. Press that like button if you guys enjoy this video after watching. Subscribe to the channel if you appreciate me being transparent, sharing real experiences with trading. Hopefully you're learning from that. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So guys, up on the screen, you're going to see my P&L from the Shopify trade. It is net about $1,500. After everything, closing the trade up $1,500. A good trade, but thinking about where it was, there was something obviously wrong, right? Something obviously went wrong from being up to where it was to now being up $1,500. Still very proud, still very happy with the trade. Green is green, profit is profit, right? That is something we have to say. But what went wrong? What made me give back these profits? This is something I want to break down in today's video. So here's the Shopify trade. And if you didn't watch the last video, I recommend you go watch that. It breaks down everything that happened before yesterday, before today, right? Why I took the trade, the really in-depth details of why I took this. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump a little bit further. If you want to get those in-depth details, make sure to check out the video from this Tuesday. 4-hour bull flag, break and retest of 55, area 56. I was long here last Friday, and I caught this entire move to the upside. So I had a fantastic entry. And the fantastic entry is really what saved me in this trade, right? If I chase Shopify here, then I would have been down a lot of money, and I would have ended up losing on this position. But that was not the situation that I was in. And that brings me to the first point of where this potentially went wrong. As good as my entry was, I think I got too comfortable in the trade, right? Knowing that I got into this before the stock even moved, right? I was in before anyone was interested in Shopify. I was in last Friday. The stock barely looked good. It was actually moving lower. I was in the position, swinging it into the next week. And right on Monday and right on Tuesday, the thing rocketed to the upside. So I was sitting very pretty. I was very comfortable in the trade because my entry was so low. This was maybe a false sense of confidence, right? Gave me a little bit of a false sense of confidence that I could continue to hold this, that I could withstand any drawdowns, any downside moves, that I could just sort of let this ride and see this trade out. This is likely what caused me to not read the technicals correctly, not put trust into some of the technical levels, and just letting myself ride this position out due to that false sense of confidence. Something that maybe some of you have felt before, right? Maybe you can connect with that experience before, right? So we were pushing up here. This is Wednesday, right? Wednesday is when the thing just collapsed on me. The NASDAQ obviously was down heavy. The ES was down heavy yesterday as well, hitting some major supplies that I didn't pay attention to close enough, right? Because I was so comfortable in the Shopify position because of how good my entry point was. So I saw, right, Shopify was pushing up, and I knew that this 64, 65 area was going to be tough. But I wanted to see it out, right? Something in me wanted to see this trade out. I wanted to see if we could ultimately break this high and start to get a push higher, knowing that if we got that break, there would be such a good reward at the end of the road, right? And that feeling is likely what caused me to miss out, or not miss out, but caused me to hold this trade longer than I should have, right? That what if, calculating how much I'll make, right? Bad habits that I typically do not do when I am just scalping option contracts. contracts. So if you guys watch my channel, you know that this type of trade, this type of swing trade is not something that I typically do on this channel, right? It's not really my normal trading strategy. Sometimes I will take longer dated calls. I will take larger term ideas, but typically I'm an option scalper. I get 10%, I get 20%. I scale out, I take profits. I go to the gym, I get lunch, I get the hell out of here, right? That's my normal day to day. This trade is different, right? The idea of this trade was different, and maybe it's something that I am not ready for, I'm not comfortable with, and maybe something I'm not managing well enough, right? So I was so comfortable in the trade, I had a fantastic entry, and I didn't manage it correctly because of that false sense of confidence, and I didn't pay attention to this supply level, which I should have put more weight into, right? I should have been scaling out into this move. I should have been taking profits off here at that 64, 65. All things that we could say. We can come back to this video, say you should have did this, you should have did that. But what actually went wrong? Where did I go wrong? What are the things I have to admit to myself, and hopefully you guys admit to yourself as well when you're trading, right? You're not going to improve by not admitting when you are wrong, and when things go wrong, figuring out what it was that you can improve on. So for this trade, for me, I did not pay attention to this supply strong enough, right? I didn't put enough weight into this supply because I was so focused on the what ifs if it broke that supply. I was hopeful. I was hopeful that it would break. This is something that I talk about quite a bit, right? We can't be hopeful that these levels break, and I broke my own rule, right? I broke my own rule of being hopeful that a supply level would break, and if it broke, I knew it could squeeze higher, so I was really hoping for that to happen. That was the first bad thing that I did. Hopeful that a supply level would break, something we cannot introduce into our trading. And so I also want to incorporate the S&P 500 here because this was very crucial yesterday as well, which I did not put enough weight into, right? Yesterday, the S&P 500 squeezed to the upside. Now, that morning squeeze yesterday, you guys remember that if you trade the markets, we had a major morning squeeze right to the upside, right into 4305 supply, right? Right into that supply level right there yesterday. It got nasty rejected, right? Major rejection. That push to the upside in the morning gave me some confidence again, right? When I saw that morning push on the S&P 500, I said, okay, this looks great, right? This could definitely help Shopify higher, and I really wanted to see that thing break out, right? A little bit, again, of a false sense of confidence. What did I do wrong? I did not trust the 4305 supply that was right there in front of my face on the S&P 500, and you can see it did exactly what it should have done, right? The S&P did exactly what it should have done and double topped that supply and had a nasty rejection. There is nothing manipulated, nothing wrong with what happened yesterday. That is not the type of person I am, right? The market is not manipulated in that sense. It rejected the exact level that it should have rejected, and I didn't react to it, right? That is a problem for me. That is a problem that I need to fix, right? Typically, I'm very good at this, right? Scalp trades, I know exactly where I'm playing supply, where I'm playing demand. I don't have a problem with that, and this trade does not discourage me in the slightest for my normal scalping trades. What it teaches me is that when I take swing trades, when I take longer term trades, I need to make sure I'm paying attention to these levels, and I can't get overconfident in my positions. I still have to manage it intraday. I still have to manage it day by day, and I have to be able to adjust to the market conditions that are right in front of me. Now, I know the next question is going to be, why didn't you start taking profits as it was dropping, right? You were still up 10, 9, 8, 7,000, 6,000, 5,000, 4,000. You were still up that money as it was dropping to the downside. There was something about the larger term idea that just sort of made my mind want to be in the position. It's hard to explain. I'm sure you guys have felt this before, but I liked that longer term setup so much. I was so confident in it that I wanted to continue to hold even through the drawdown, right? I wanted to continue to hold even though the technical levels were breaking, even though we were getting that very aggressive slip to the downside. And intraday, I was watching my other demand levels on Shopify, right? I was watching these levels on Shopify. I saw in the early morning, all right, if we go to early morning Shopify here, you can see that we got back above 64, right? You can see this little 64 hold early morning and this squeeze to the upside out of this little bull flag. Now, this bull flag, I think, gave me a little sense of confidence, right? Right here in the morning, this is the 2 minute chart. You can see that Shopify squeezed out of this bull flag, broke to new highs. And after this here, right around 10 o'clock, I was like, this looks great, right? Bull flag off 64. This is the level that I wanted to see hold. And this looks really good. I want to continue to hold this position. Again, not paying as much attention to that supply above, which was a mistake of mine. Now you can see we lost that level. We got back under 64. Right there, take some off, right? That's the right thing to do. I did not do that. Low of day, right? Now, why didn't I take some off there at the 64 break? Well, it's because in my mind, I said, you're still up 10K. You're still in a good position. You have a great entry. Let's see what low a day does, right? You come down the low a day, you flush right below it like it's not even there. Then I say to myself, all right, you're still up 8,000. Let's keep an eye on some previous day lows, previous day highs. Let's see if we can start to hold some of these levels. So we had this previous low here from Tuesday. We went right below that level like it wasn't even there, right? We got rejections at that perfect 62 level, and we just slid and slid and slid. And I continued, and I'm being as open as possible, right? I know this isn't good for my image, for someone that's new watching this channel. I continued to hold as we broke these levels, and I continued to look at this and say, let's see if this next demand holds, right? I'm up still a very nice amount on this trade, and I still believe in that longer-term idea, so I didn't want to panic sell into this drop. I wasn't comfortable panic selling into the drop, just taking the trade off because there was some red on the position. I wanted to make sure that I saw this out. I wanted to make sure that I still believed in that longer-term idea. Well, it just so happens to be that it bled out the entire day, and the longer-term idea that was in my mind just simply has not worked out, right? That, at the end of the day, is what happened. The longer-term idea did not work out when I wanted it to, and this thing just bled out the entire day, giving back a large portion of my profits, still coming away profitable in the trade, still ensuring that I didn't turn red on this position, right? That was never going to happen. I was never going to turn red on this position. Now, let me make that very clear, right? I'm not going to go from up 11,000 to red on a position. That will never happen. I was sane enough and my mind was clear enough to make sure that that did not happen. But I was willing to give back some profits during the trade because it worked out so quickly for me that I was saying to myself, we can give back some profits. If the longer term idea is still there, we can give back some profits. It didn't work out. At the end of the day, Shopify lost it all day on Wednesday. It lost it today on Tuesday, right? You can see it rejected this 61 area. Today, I did a great job of scaling out into this 61. If you guys are in the Discord, you heard me say that. Started to scale out into 61, right? That's where I took my profits. This is when I was up about $1,500 on the position. And that's the ultimate exit of this trade, right? I gave it away. I said, hey, this is not looking right? The weekly chart, if we go back to it, I wanted to see that weekly candle really push up. If we go to this weekly chart, if you guys remember this setup, you're just putting in another nasty wick here on the weekly chart. You can see it right here. Another nasty wick there that ultimately looks like it could definitely move lower. So today intraday, I said you're green, take your profits, walk away, learn from the experience, understand what went wrong, make sure this doesn't happen again, and make sure that you're open and transparent about it, right? Make sure that people can learn from this trade. At the end of the day, that's one of the duties that I have, is to make these videos, teach you about what happens in the market, the reality of the market, so that this hopefully doesn't happen to some of you. All right, so this is the idea, the quick idea of what happened on my Shopify trade. A fantastic trade, a great entry, a great setup. Would take it again. Next time, I know that I need to manage it better. Understand the technicals a little bit better. Don't get a cloudy mindset, trusting something and really marrying a position, and just accept when you're wrong, maybe a little bit earlier, lock in profits a little bit earlier, something I think we can all sort of relate to, and hopefully hearing it from me helps you understand and helps you sort of align with what happened, and hopefully helps you improve your trading as well. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. Nonetheless, a great experience, a learning lesson for me, and hopefully for some of you out there, the reality of trading and how we have to protect ourselves when we have a great trade and when we have profits in any position. To be quite honest, I woke up this morning and didn't really even feel the effects of giving back this money, which is something that I am very proud of, right? As a trader, learning to just sort of let things go, not letting them mentally affect us the next day when we come into the market. Closed the day on a really nice day, about $2,100, which I'm very happy about, getting back to scalping, taking those profits and running, right? Not letting this trade affect me long term. Something we take as an experience, a learning lesson, but we have to move on. We have to move on. We cannot let these types of things affect our trading long term. We know what we're doing. We know our strategy. We stick to it. And that's what I did today and ended up having a fantastic day. I hope you guys enjoyed me sharing this trade from start to finish. I didn't have to make this video. I could have just said that I made $5,000 on the trade and probably no one would have asked. But this is my duty as someone on YouTube, someone that tries to educate other traders, is to be fully transparent. If you appreciate it, press that like button, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.